Who's your offensive player of the year?
Second person I have is Miles Sanders, mainly just because we as Eagles.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
It's Miles Sanders. It's Miles Sanders. It's Miles Sanders. It's Miles Sanders.
All right, welcome back to the channel, man. The Boot Tragedies. This will be the first episode of this podcast. Doesn't have a name right now, but first episode. I know most of y'all are here for the Saints and Louisiana sports, but this will be a little different. This will be an NFL podcast covering basically everything throughout the NFL minus the Falcons. But yeah, man, this is my co-host right here, Dre. If you want to introduce yourself, you can go ahead.
What's up, guys? My name is Dre. Just to put it out there, I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So that's where my fandom comes from, but I have no problem talking about all sports, all teams, everything like that. So I'm gonna try and be non-biased, but just to let you know where my loyalties lies in terms of the NFL.
Yeah, he got to throw that caveat out there because I'm sure he's about to lie through his teeth this whole entire show. But all right, we'll jump right into it. I mean, this podcast will be an overview basically of the season, kind of prediction based for this first episode because obviously it isn't really anything to talk about. Without further ado, we'll jump right into it. Who you have winning Rookie of the Year this year, offense and defense?
All right, so offensive Rookie of the Year. Like I said, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I'm throwing in Devontae Smith, but that's just a little wish list type deal because I just feel like we haven't had a wide receiver pretty much since Jackson and Macklin, the tandem there. We've had some good years here and there, but that was like legit years where we had receivers. So this is going to be a good year. He's automatically the number one. Jalen Hurts is going to force him the ball. But to be honest, it's easy. I really think it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. He's the quarterback. He's starting game one. Even though they lost Travis Etienne, I think that they're still going to have a good team around him in the sense where he can at least put up, decent numbers, good numbers. So as long as they win, like, I'm going to say 5-6 games, I'm going to say if he wins 5-6 games, he has it in the bag. But Devontae Smith is my dark horse.
Yeah, my answer, Trevor Lawrence as well. It's the NFL. They're going to force a quarterback to win this award. I think Chase will have a good year, Smith, Waddle, but this is a quarterback award. Just like last year, Justin Jefferson should have won, but they gave it to Herbert, who didn't even, play the entire season because they have to give it to a quarterback. The face of the league, they're going to give it to a quarterback. It's almost like the MVP at this point. So, yeah, I got Trevor Lawrence going there. And defensive Rookie of the Year, did you say that or no?
No, for defense,
I'll start. I'll start. My defensive Rookie of the Year, I hate to say it because I hate this team with a passion, or college team at least. Pat Surtain, cornerback for the Broncos. I hate Alabama, but I mean, dude's a stud. I think he's gonna win. Broncos have a pretty good defense, so he won't be expected to do the most. So I just got him winning Rookie of the Year fairly easily too.
Yeah, to be honest, I have him and Michael Parsons. They were the two best defensive players in the draft. For Michael Parsons, he really doesn't have much that he has to do to be the best linebacker for the Cowboys because both, Smith and Wolf Hunter that they have, they started off great as rookies and then each year they decline. But he's been all over the ball, all over preseason, even though it is just preseason. We got to wait to see what happens in, real live action when he's going against real vets. But I think both Pat Surtain and Michael Parsons have the best trajectory for that award.
All right, we're on the same page, so far, but it might get a little shaky here. Who's your offensive player of the year? Who do you got winning that?
All right, so the two people I have for offensive player of the year, one is a given, one is a biased pick, but I have reasons for the biased pick. So the given is Pat Mahomes. The reason is because he's coming off the Super Bowl loss, an embarrassing Super Bowl loss at that. I don't necessarily blame him. The man had no offensive line whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be coming back with a vengeance, letting everybody know that, look, you give me an offensive line, I don't care who I have out here with Tyreek and Travis, I'm going to go up here and put some numbers. So I'm looking at 45, plus 100 yards. I'm looking somewhere 40 touchdowns. Maybe 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns, but I think he's going to have a big year. And then the second person I have is Miles Sanders, mainly just because we as Eagles, we know that we have, great running backs, but our coaches don't normally use our running backs. Our new coach, Sirianni, he's heavily focused on the running backs because when he was with the Colts, he had the running back tandem with Taylor and Mack until Mack got hurt and all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking that Sanders is going to be a huge part of our offense, both running and catching the ball. So, hey, that's going to be
this
watch
man
out
is
for
just
Miles Sanders this
it's
season.
just
I'm not saying we
lying.
as a team are going to be amazing.
Nah, you know
Miles
damn
Sanders,
well Miles Sanders is not winning Offensive Player of the Year.
Miles Sanders is going to put up some numbers this year.
That's probably not even in
My bold
the
prediction.
sports bets. I'm sure his name not even listed in there for Offensive Player of the Year.
But go ahead and place my bet now then so I can win some money.
For me, Offensive Player of the Year, it's no other than the best running back in the NFL by far, Alvin Kamara. He's gonna do the thing this year. He's gonna get a lot of touches, now that Breeze is gone. We're gonna be running the ball a lot. Hopefully he's getting more carries. And our backup running back this year is looking a little murky, so he may get more and more carries this year. I think this would be actually a breakout year running the ball for Alvin Kamara. Obviously, he can do the thing, out the backfield, playing receiver. He can run it well. And he's going to get a lot of catches this year because our receivers, MT is going to be out first 6 weeks. So,
right.
I mean, he may end up this year with 1,000 rushing yards and 100 catches. Who knows? Which I think that'll give him Offensive Player of the Year fairly easily. Switching on the Defensive Player of the Year, this is kind of a cop-out pick. So, well, the two choices I had were cop-out picks. So I just went with one, and it was Myles Garrett, the Browns. I think that D-line's already crazy. That defense is pretty crazy, and I just think he's going to have like a 20-sack season. I know he had, I think, 9 sacks through 7 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think COVID, he was out for something. I don't remember, but he missed some games, and that kind of, derailed that year. But I think the Browns are going to be decent this year. So I just got Myles Garrett winning that.
Okay, so I thought you were going a different direction because my safe pick is Aaron Donald and TJ Watt.
That was my other one.
I mean, Aaron Donald's pretty much owned the award,
Mm-hmm.
since he won it the very first time. And TJ Watt was like right there, being able to get it. So I think, with the Steelers adding a little bit more to the defense, and hopefully if their offense can be a little bit more stable in the terms of, actually being in the lead or just having a more successful or not successful way, more consistent offense, then TJ Watt can, he can shine a lot more. So I'm between TJ Watt and Aaron Donald.
I can see that. Aaron Donald's like the easy pick. If you just want to, place a safe bet right there, Aaron Donald's obviously easy. All right, comeback player of the year, the one I struggle with the most. Who do you have, for that one?
All right, so this was hard because, for comeback player, you've either had to have a terrible year or you had to have an injury, something that puts you out and all that kind of stuff. So I have 2 people, and the 2 people, one, it's an easy kind of bet, is Dak, just because of the injury that he had. And with him coming back to this offense, I'm a little shaky with the fact that he played absolutely no snaps whatsoever in the preseason. So, we'll see what actually happens, but he's got the weapons around him to do what he needs to do to win this award. The other person is a former quarterback from the NFC East, is Wentz. And that's because it all depends on if Wright can bring out the Wentz from the Super Bowl winning year right before he tore his ACL. If he brings that Wentz out, then the Colts win this trade. The Colts got a future quarterback, all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. He runs away with this award. But if they get, the Wentz of last year or the Wentz, that's turning the ball over and all that kind of stuff, then he's not going to win. So Wright has to pull out, Super Bowl winning Wentz for him to win this award. But those are my 2 candidates for this.
All right. Tough for me, man. I just the only one I picked 2 people win. First player, Saquon Barkley. I mean, I feel like he's torn his ACL for the last 6 years in a row. That's what it legit feels like. Hopefully he can stay healthy this year. I mean, I just want to see him play, honestly. He was one of my favorite running backs coming out of college. Hasn't been healthy in the NFL. He's healthy now. Hopefully he can, get a full season under his belt. And if he does, I think he can be the, comeback player of the year. And the second choice, I almost put him as my offensive player of the year and my MVP. But I settled on comeback player of the year. And I want y'all to look at me when I say this. JAMEIS Winston. Easy. I think this is going to be the easy choice. I might bet this. I might actually bet. I think it's going to be an easy choice. Obviously,
2 years ago.
Exactly, which is, even more of a story. Didn't play last year, like a lot. He played a couple snaps here or there. Lost his job in Tampa. Obviously, now he's at a division rival in the Saints. My team, the home team, the best team, all that good stuff. But coming off a 30 interception year, like a 30 for 30, I guess 2 years ago. He's going to have a good year this year. Turnovers going to be limited. You got the best offensive coach in the game. So I just think this is his year, man. If he can't get it done this year, then he may never get it done. So yeah, I got with Jameis Winston as comeback player of the year, which kind of leads me right into coach of the year, Sean Payton. He's gotten robbed a couple times, but I think this year he's gonna lock that away just because everyone's counting the Saints out. Winston's the quarterback. I've seen under 500, no playoffs, not gonna win a division. I've seen it all. I've seen it all this year, but I think he's gonna take us to 11 to 13 wins somewhere in there. And if he does that, I mean, with MT missing 6 weeks, losing Drew Brees, like that's an easy coach of the year for me.
All right. I'm going with Bill Belichick. The man starting a rookie quarterback. He got, I don't want to say he got embarrassed last year, but he
did.
He's not winning the, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady discussion because Tom Brady leaves, wins the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick misses the playoffs. So he's going to be coming back this year. Granted, even though the Bills played tremendous last year, the Dolphins are going to be better. I still think that the Patriots have a chance at winning the division. So if the Patriots if they can win the division, or if they can at least make it into the wild card and Mac Jones, he's played all the games, no injuries, nothing like that, then I really think that Bill Belichick has a good chance, especially because he's going to have the defense, on par, especially now that he's getting defensive players back that sat out because of COVID and everything. So I think they're going to have a top 10 defense, especially once, Gilmore comes back. So I think that Bill Belichick, I think right now he's on the best path for a coach of the year.
I can see that. I think they play Tom Brady week 2. Don't quote me on that.
I think it's week 4.
No, well, probably.
Yeah, I know it's within. I know for a fact it's within the first 6 weeks of the season, but I think it's week 4 in Foxborough.
I think we play the Patriots week 4, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember the schedules off the top of my head. I know we got. Who cares? It doesn't even matter. All right, but
it's early on. I know they played each other early on.
Yeah, same. But all right, for the most prized possession in the NFL, most valuable player, who do you have winning that one?
So I don't think anybody has my 2 picks for MVP. My 2 picks are Matt Stafford and Josh Allen. Stafford is literally in line to prove everybody wrong or prove them right, in a sense, like he was in Detroit, he was working with what he got, and all he ever had was Calvin Johnson. So now he's in LA. They just traded for Sony Michel. He's got Cooper Kupp. He's got Deshaun Jackson. He's got Robert Woods. He's got a top defense with Ramsey and Donald. Like, he has a team around him. He's got, in terms of the NFL, one of the greatest offensive minds. So, and Sean McVay. So they're saying that he should be putting up numbers. The Rams should be one of the best teams. Like, they should be a lock. So if that all goes to plan, Stafford should be top 3 MVP at the end. Like, if he's not, then something went wrong, something happened. The other thing with Josh Allen is he had a great year last year, took the Bills almost to the Super Bowl. They really didn't lose any key pieces. So the only thing that could hurt him, a lot of people say you play well right before you get your money. And so if you get your money, your play kind of dips a little bit. So it's either does his play dip because of money, or was last year just a fluke because people didn't see Josh Allen coming. And now they're just like, all right, cool, we're going to be game planning for you. Like, we know what you can do. And can he, still go out there and perform? So if he can, Josh Allen could sneak in there for MVP as well, especially if the Bills win the division and, kind of do the same thing that they did last year. Then I think, he's a little dark horse candidate.
It's funny because before you started your little soliloquy about your MVP, you said, I don't think anyone in the world has my MVP candidate. And then you mentioned Josh Allen. And guess what? Josh Allen is my MVP as well. I can show you. I have it written down. Josh Allen. They went 13-3 last year. Threw for 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns. Had 8 rushing touchdowns. So he had a crazy year. And I think if he does that, if he can honestly put those numbers up again and have a chance to win MVP this year. So, and the NFL is always looking for guys. Obviously, Mahomes got him 1. So they're gonna be, they don't like to give people 2, honestly. So if Josh Allen puts up those numbers, I can see him I can see him winning MVP this year. And it's funny because Matthew Stafford was my number was my number 2, which is hilarious. So
I mean,
I think
he's got to, like, he literally has everything around him, everything he's never had, but said he's always wanted. Like,
and that defense, obviously the defense doesn't, play into his stats, but it can play into the wins, that the Rams can have. So I think if the Rams have a good year, I can see that. But if I was a betting man, I would put the house on Josh Allen winning MVP this year, just because I think he's going to get 10 plus rushing touchdowns as well. So it's like, that's going to be hard to beat if he finished the season with over 50 touchdowns, and he had 47 this past year. And there's an extra game this year. Yeah. So he can probably do 50 touchdowns this year. Keep that interceptions at 10. I mean, that's hard to beat right there. And moving on, Super Bowl picks. I know it's early, so don't come at us in 17 weeks and say we're way off, because we may be. Like, it could be terrible years for some of these people, and teams. But
it happen, all kinds of stuff.
You never know. That's why it's predictions, man. But all right, who's your Super Bowl pick? Who's your pick and winner? Pick and winner.
All right, so just to kind of go off with my offensive player of the year, I really think that Patrick Mahomes has a lot that he has to prove this year. So coming out the AFC, I'm saying the Chiefs are going to come out the AFC and be the representative in the Super Bowl. Browns could be a dark horse because they've got a stacked team. I just don't trust Baker Mayfield like that. But if he's playing well, then that could be a surprise team. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs. On the NFC, I'm going with the Rams, mainly just because I feel like everything was just laid out for the Bucs last year. Because everybody wants a story. So the Bucs had the new quarterback, they had the rough start kind of, and then they had the terrible game against the Saints, and then right after that game, that's when their season turned around and they took off. And then when they got into the playoffs, things just everything went in their favor. They got to face an injured Drew Brees. They had some bad calls against the Packers in that game against the Packers that helped the Bucs win.
Wait, Brady had calls that went in his favor? No way. No way. No way that happened.
Laid out for him last year, but I don't think it's going to work out this year. But I think the story this year is going to be with the Rams, and I think that's going to be the NFC representative. Now, Chiefs and Rams in the Super Bowl, I have an issue with that Chiefs defense. If it's a shootout, Chiefs got it. If it comes down to whose defense, can get a couple stops in the game, I'm trusting the Rams way more than the Chiefs. So as of right now, I'm going to say Rams over Chiefs, and I'm going to say that the final score is 28-24.
Interesting. Yeah, they do play the Rams. I mean, they couldn't block last year, so I don't know what they couldn't block the Bucs last year. I don't know how they're going to block Aaron Donald. So for me, in the AFC, it was tough. It was 3 teams I kept going in a circle with. The Chiefs obviously won. I think the Chiefs are going to be there for like the next 10 years. You're going to just have to put Chiefs in the running. The Bills, I got up there, and the Ravens, I got up there. And this year, I think he does it. I think Lamar Jackson gets over the hump in the playoffs. And I just think this year he did. I watched they played like 1 possession in preseason, but I could tell that Greg Roman, the OC there, he's finally learning that you can't just come out and run basically the triple option out of shotgun every play. They switched up some formations. They actually ran real NFL concepts. That's all I needed to see from them. And I think that's going to just help Lamar tremendously because it's so easy to stop what they do. So, and the design runs are easy to stop. It's when he, the non-design runs is when he kills you, when he's just, actually trying to pass the ball and just takes off. So yeah, I have the Ravens coming out the AFC. And the NFC, I had to put my bias aside, and obviously everyone knows who I want to pick, to go to the Super Bowl. But it didn't happen. I still picked the Saints. I think it's going to be the Saints versus the Ravens. Before I get to the winner of that game, I think the NFC Championship is kind of what you said for Super Bowl pick, the Rams. I think it's a rematch from the 2019 season.
Oh, Lord.
Saints versus Rams in the Superdome, and we going to bust they ass, and I can't wait. I got so much
I can't wait for that pass interference call in the fourth quarter.
I can't. Yeah, and Roger Goodell gonna have to see me. I'm not gonna make threats on YouTube, but he gonna have to see me. But no, man, I really do think the Saints will shock people this year, and I just can't wait, man. I'm going with the Saints. I can't pick nobody else, man. Even if you force me to. Yeah, and if it's not the Saints, I'm not picking the Rams. So no one's going. Season's going to get canceled because of COVID. So, yeah, I'm going Saints versus Ravens. I have the Saints winning 27-24 game-winning field goal by Will Lutz, 56-yarder to win the Super Bowl, and we out. And I'm gonna be running, but never mind. I'll be running in the streets of New Orleans.
See, at least I kept my bias to the side. I didn't say nothing about the Eagles making it.
Bro,
I didn't
y'all
say
suck.
about us
So
making the playoffs. Like,
y'all suck. Y'all
like
suck.
nothing. Hey, the season hasn't even started yet. Who knows what could happen?
We don't suck. So I mean, hey.
Like it.
Falcons going 0-17, by the way. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, that's a little prediction wrap up right there. These will drop every Wednesday, maybe around 6 p.m. or maybe in the morning. I don't know yet. That hasn't been decided, but yeah, you can check for these every Wednesday. This would be an addition to the the channel. It's obviously gonna still be the same stuff for the people that's there for that. And yeah, man, I'll have links in the descriptions, Twitters, all that, YouTube, all that good stuff, so y'all can check that out. But yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 1. Any last words, Dre?
No, only thing I got to say, because it's about to be a brand new NFL season. Fly, Eagles, fly. Like, it's a brand new season. We don't care what happened last year. Everybody's 0-0 right now. So
not everybody. Cowboys, they 0-1 because they're not beating the Bucks. But everybody else 0-0. But yeah, man. Episode 1, we out.